Okay, welcome again YouTube. I just want to show you how to put this KitchenAid refrigerator into diagnostic mode and also into a forced defrost mode. So the refrigerator has the slide out bottom door and the one single main door. It's stainless steel. It's a model number KBRS22KWMS5. Long number. But this refrigerator has a jazz board right up in here. If your refrigerator has the jazz board, then this same procedure will apply. Okay, so what you do is you hold the door switch. Oops. And now press the refrigerator plus button 3 times within 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and release the door button. And now you get SE for service mode. Now press the refrigerator plus button to confirm that's what you want. Now you're in menu 1 and you've got a blank screen here. Okay, you're in menu 1, so we'll press the plus button again. And now you get an S or an O. So the S means that the freezer defroster temperature sensor is shorted and you will be able to run a defroster cycle. If it was an O, it would mean that the temperature sensor is open or it's too warm and you would not be able to run the defroster cycle. Okay, now if you press freezer, okay, so then you press the plus button to get back out of the S and the O screen. Now if you press, or freezer plus, freezer plus, now you're in the next menu. Okay, menu 2 is the compressor, condenser, fan diagnostics. So F means the fan is off. If I press the refrigerator plus button, oh, the compressor just came on. O means on. If you turn this compressor on and you turn it back off again, do not turn it back on unless you wait 5 minutes or you can damage the compressor. So we're going to go ahead and turn it back off, so that works. Okay, F, and I heard the compressor shut off. Next we're going to go to menu number 3. Freezer, evaporator, fan diagnostics. And the fan and the freezer evaporator is F for off. If I press the plus sign, it's O for on. And I just heard the fan come on. So I'm going to turn it back off again. And I heard it shut off. Now we're going to go to the next menu. Refrigerator sensor diagnostics. So I'm going to press the plus button. P is a pass or good. If you got an O or an S, both of those are bad. So my refrigerator temperature sensor diagnostics is a P for pass. So that's good. So I'm going to go to menu 5. Oops, I got to go back to this blank screen. Now I'm going to go to menu 5. Okay. 5 is a similar test, only it's for the freezer temperature sensor diagnostics. So a P is pass is good. If you got an O or an S, both of those are bad. So my freezer temperature sensor works properly. And test 6 finally. Okay, so the test 6 is the refrigerator damper door diagnostics. So O means it's open. If I want to close it, you can hear it closing. So we'll wait till it closes all the way. Might take about a minute to close completely. Okay, now that it's closed, you should be able to open it again. You have to wait a few minutes once it's fully closed. I'm not sure if the delay is a minute. Yeah, I think you have to wait a minute. So we'll just give it a few seconds here. I should have timed it. Oh, there it goes. Probably 30 seconds. Okay, it's closing, or sorry, it's opening again. Okay, good. It's finished its thing now. Okay, and lastly, menu number 7 is for the refrigerator temperature setting. This is set to 5. That's the recommended setting. And then for menu number 8, that's the freezer temperature setting. And number 5 is the recommended setting again. You can go from 1 to 9. The book recommends 5 on each. Menu 9, I don't know what it is, so we're not sure about that. Okay, to go into forced defrost mode, you're going to get out of service mode and you're going to go into forced defrost mode, which is hold the door switch, press the refrigerator minus button 1, 2, 3 times in 10 seconds and release. Now you have FD or forced defrost. Now if you press refrigerator minus, Okay, this is the short defrost. If you press the plus button, you can cycle to the long defrost. You could use this if you had a seriously iced up evaporator in your freezer. But for our testing purposes, we just want to run a short defrost cycle so we can go and hear the sizzling of the water dripping off onto the hot heater element, just to confirm that everything is working the way it should. You would then press the minus button to confirm your selection, close the fridge door, and everything starts, and now you can just let it run its cycle. There's a big sizzle. There's another one. So the defrost cycle is definitely working. I'd like to see a little bit of water come out of this pipe. Oh yeah, see? So here's the water. You can see it. It's dripping out of the pipe now and running into the tray. There's all kinds of water there. Yeah, so the water's running down into the tray now. Everything's working as it should. I don't know if you can see in the tray. There's where the water would run into. Right in through there. It's kind of hard to see. Just down this black trough here. Okay, so it'll just do a short defrost cycle and go back to normal operation. Everything's working perfectly. Okay, so the very common problem with these fridges is, I'll just show you, here's the back of the fridge. I have the cover removed. It's running, but that's okay. And if I look right in here, it'll focus for me. There we go. This is the drain tube here. And if I pull it out of the way, you see this black rubber boot right here? I'll just pull it off. Ugh. Okay, now you see the end of the white pipe where the water comes out right there. This was on the end of it. So this little boot has a little lip on a little thing on the end, so that prevents the cold air from draining out of the freezer, I suppose. And what happens is the inside here gets plugged with dust, and then the water can't drip out of the freezer. If that happens, the water backs up into the freezer and refreezes. I'm going to just pop this back on. It just pushes on. Make sure it's on there, not too far to force it the lips open, but far enough so it stays on. So when the water drips out of there, if the water can't drip out of there, sorry, it freezes back up into the freezer. That hole becomes blocked with ice, and then the water starts running out into the freezer compartment, freezing on the bottom of the freezer compartment, and then eventually runs out onto the floor. So if you have water running out onto your floor from this type of freezer, this little rubber boot is probably simply plugged with dust. Take it off and clean it out, put it back on, run the forced defrost cycle on long to clear up all your frost, and you'll be back in business. Hope that helps. And the last thing you can do is check your programming mode. So if you press the door switch again and refrigerator minus 3 times in 10 seconds, 1, 2, 3. So PE means programming mode. Okay, so now that you're in programming display mode, if you press the freezer minus button one more time to confirm it's what you want, you get a code 02. So if we look on here, you can see code 02. So this is the correct program for this fridge. Okay, if you find your code display doesn't match the code on the sticker, you can adjust it to the correct code on the sticker by pressing these plus buttons. I don't know if the minus, don't press the minus, you have to circle through, whoops. I'm going to put it back to 02. And then you confirm with the freezer minus button. And now it's locked in at 02. And we'll just check it again to make sure it stayed there. So if I go 1, 2, 3, we're in programming mode, press freezer minus to confirm that I want to be in here. There's the code 02 locked in. Okay, and that's everything you can do with this fridge. So I hope that helped. I had trouble with this. If you find your defroster is not working, you may have to replace this jazz board. I'll try to put a link in the description where I got my jazz board and how much I paid for it. They're not very expensive. And I have another video on this channel that shows you how to change the jazz board. It's a long video, so just skip through to the part where you get to the jazz board. But it's kind of tricky. You might break parts if you don't follow the instructions that I show you. And that's so if you run the test for the defroster and it doesn't work, or it shows an open on the defroster, a 0 or an S for a fail on the defroster element, then you probably have to change the jazz board. That's a common failure point on these fridges. Okay, good luck. We'll run out.